Welcome back, everyone. My name is Jason. This is part two of my journey with vestibular schwannoma. I'll kind of pick off where I left off, and this was like right before I was about to have my surgery. One of the major things I did was get married, uh, common law married. So my girlfriend, now wife, could take FMLA, intermittent leave of absence, and drive me around because for doctor's appointments and in the hospital and everything. Uh, State of Texas is wonderful. You can pretty much get married on the spot, and it's legal in the country of Texas. Um, the day of the surgery, we went into the hospital at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and to their credit, didn't waste any time. Later in the day in the ICU, that's where they put you out for the next 24 hours, and I'm out of it. I can't even, I don't know where I'm at. I don't know what's going on. I'm nauseated. I have that's one of the big things after surgery is you're just, after you get the tumor out, is you're just extremely nauseated for any motion at all. Just laying on my, I like to sleep on my side, and anytime the doctor needed to take a blood pressure, I have to roll to my back. I would vomit pretty much. Couldn't keep anything down. I would drink cold water, and 5 minutes later, have to roll over, and I would puke, and it would still be cold. Just kept the Emmy bag nice and close. I had two people. My wife was there, but I also had two people come and visit me, her sister and another friend of mine, and they didn't even last long the first day because they could just tell that I couldn't do anything. Like I could barely communicate, couldn't eat. Uh, did have a catheter in, so I didn't have to worry about going to the bathroom at all. It's weird having a catheter in because it goes directly up into your bladder, and you don't feel like you're peeing, but you are peeing constantly. IV hooked up the whole time, so I wasn't didn't have to really drink any fluids. They were still supplying me with everything, fluid wise, through that. But the first night in ICU was rough. I was in pain. I was out of it. All I wanted to do was sleep. The nurses were pretty spot on, pretty good. If I was in any kind of pain, they would try to give me something, IV wise, because I couldn't keep anything down. Next day, I ended up getting moved to a regular unit. I was still having a lot of vomit issues, a lot of nausea issues, but getting the CT scan, making sure they got all the tumor out. They did. I had nice little staples in the back of my head. They did a really good job on the incision. Hopefully it doesn't leave too big of a scar, and it looks like the hair's growing back. I already had to get a haircut, 3 weeks out. Second day, I was still struggling to keep food down. I think the first attempt was just regular chicken broth, and that didn't really stay too long. Uh, yeah, nurses again, well, pretty good. Got a lot of sleep. That's the one thing I can tell you to do is just get some rest. Don't stress yourself out too much. Uh, to go to the bathroom though, once you get out the ICU, they do take the catheter out of your they take the catheter out, and every time that you use the bathroom, they have to have either a nurse, an RN, or a LVN. LVN can walk the IV thing into the bathroom with you, and then the nurse can hook the IV completely. But you have to use a walker to get around because your balance is just all messed up. You can barely walk pretty much. Uh, Not all nurses are created equal. I had one nurse that response time was not where it needed to be. Food wise, when I was eating there, I stuck to soup, oatmeal, and fruit. That's what tasted good for me. It might be different for you, but for me, that's what I stuck to as far as eating wise. Uh, Nurses and LVNs will check in on you every few hours, making sure you're okay. My own doctor, my own brain and spine doctor came in and checked on me pretty much every single day except my discharge day, and that was on Sunday. And his nurse practitioner came in and checked on me and gave me the release to go home. Had a little bit of physical therapy when I was there, and it wasn't much. It was, hey, can you walk up and down the aisle, walk up and down the hallway by yourself with the walker? And it was a yes. I could get up and walk, and wasn't struggling too bad. By the fourth day, I was ready to go home. Third day, I probably could have gone home, but I was insurance had already approved for 4 days, so I stuck it out for another day. So I got home. Still having a little bit of nausea. It was getting better though. The last day at the hospital, I think I threw up once, and then the first day when I got home, I threw up once, and then after that, I was able to keep everything down. It wasn't much of an issue. They do send you home with some steroids, some hydrocodone, and anti-nausea and anti-dizzy spells. Laying in the bed in the hospital, you get to the point where for me, my balance is so messed up that I felt like the bed was sideways, like I was laying up against the wall, and the windows were the roof. It was crazy. It's hard to remember everything. I'm not trying to write everything down, going off the top of my head. To get home, my wife had the car ready for me to get me home. Even though they even offered me a lift to get home, I guess free of charge, or they just charge my insurance for the ride home. My wife was there to help me get home. Once I got home, it was basically more rest than anything. I said I still threw up one time, getting up out of bed, getting up, used the bathroom. I used the walker everywhere I went. Still kept to the same kind of diet of soup, fruit, oatmeal, stuff like that. It really helped me out until I guess my sister-in-law came in and brought in a greasy pepperoni and sausage pizza, and I ate that. It was delicious, but it's probably not what I needed. Symptoms coming out the hospital though, I still don't have really any feeling on the right-handed side post-surgery. Smelling was a little off coming out. I got that back. I think it has everything to do with being on the right side is kind of messed up a little bit. And that's common with these surgeries. Your right side of facial nerves a little bit altered, I guess to say. I still can't really taste too much on my right side. I can feel everything. I got sensation and everything, but as far as taste buds, I don't really have it, but I can taste everything on my left side. I can't cry out of my right ear, my right eye. Even when I was in a hospital, I think I burst a vessel in my eye, and I felt like there was a hair in my eye the whole time, and really it was just a vessel burst, and it was causing me a lot of irritation. But I can get tears out of my left eye, but my right eye is no tears at all. But the biggest complication, I'm still dealing with it today, about 4 weeks after surgery, is deafness in my right ear. I have no hearing in my right ear. So it takes a little bit to get used to. Try to get everybody to sit on your left-hand side to talk to you. When people are yelling for you in other rooms, you really have no idea where they're at. They have to yell like, "Hey, I'm in the living room," because if I'm like in my office or wherever and they say, "Hey, come here," I have no idea where they're at. Let's see, the first week, after about 3 days, I pretty much abandoned the walker. I was able to walk on myself. 3 days of coming home. And that might just be me being stubborn and saying I don't want to be the old man using the walker. But after about 3 days, I started using the walker. I started to abandon the walker and getting around on my own. Being able to get around the house on my own without any kind of assistance, get into the car. No driving. I still needed my wife to drive me everywhere for a couple weeks. Yeah, I think that's about it on the first week coming out of the hospital. You're still real dizzy, you're still real nauseous, but does get better as it goes along. Just take your time. When you feel like you can do stuff, do things. If you can't, take the minute to kind of regain your thoughts. Again, I'll pick up this video here in a couple days about a week after the surgery, and I guess my rehabilitation. Link for the first video will probably be down in the below. Again, you have any questions, just shoot a comment. Thank you.